स्टार्ट गुरुजी।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवण कीर्तन यदि यपत्राणि विदनोति सुहृत्सताम्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। So today we are on chapter 10 of Canto 10. The topic the chapter is titled The Deliverance of the Yamala Arjuna Trees. And this is, we are going through the pastimes of Krishna that we usually celebrate the month of Kartik by reciting the Ashtaka. So here we are at a point when Narad Muni, having witnessed the behavior of the two sons of Kuvera, Hayagriva and Nalakuvera. So in the previous verse, saw the sons of demigods, Nalakuvara and Manigreva, were behaving in a inebriated, intoxicated way, puffed up by the wealth of their parents and false prestige. So Narada Muni, in order to show them special mercy, desire to give them a special curse. So we're starting at 10:10:8 now. Narada nahi anyaj sato josyan buddhi bhramso rajoguna madat abhijatyedir yatra sthityutam asava. Synonyms. Narada Muni said, no, there is not. He, indeed, another material enjoyment, Jusata, of one who is enjoying Doshiyan, things very attractive in the material world, different varieties of eating, sleeping, mating, defense, buddhi, bhamsa. Such enjoyments attract the intelligence. Rajaguna, being controlled by the mode of passion, Madat, then riches, Abhijatya, Adi. Among the four material principles, attractive personal bodily features, birth in an aristocratic family, being very learned, and being very rich. Yatra, wherein, Stri, women, Dyutam, gambling, Asava, wine, women and gambling are very prominent. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Narada Muni said, among all the attractions of material enjoyment, the attraction of riches bewilders one's intelligence more than having beautiful bodily features, taking birth in an aristocratic family, and being learned. When one is uneducated but falsely puffed up by wealth, the result is that one engages his wealth in enjoying wine, women, and gambling. Purport. Among the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance, people are certainly conducted by the lower qualities, namely passion and ignorance, especially by passion. Conducted by the mode of passion, one becomes more and more involved in material existence. Therefore, human life is meant for subduing the modes of passion and ignorance and advancing in the mode of goodness. Bhagavatam, first canto, second chapter, 19th verses. Tada rajas tamo bhava kama lobhadayaschaye cheta eter anavidham titham sattve prasidati. This is culture. One must subdue the mode of passion and ignorance. In the mode of passion, when one is falsely proud of wealth, one engages his wealth only for three things: wine, namely wine, women, and gambling. We can actually see, especially in this age, that those who have unnecessary riches simply try to enjoy these three things. In Western civilization, these three things are very prominent because of an unnecessary increase of wealth. Narada Muni considered all this in the case of Manigriva and Nallukuvara because he found in them so much pride in the wealth of their father Kuvera. End of purport. So, there is a chapter in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, that is dedicated fully to these three modes of material nature. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmittam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya-manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vedantam Sajivam Advaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatayane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashadi Guru Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So we see throughout our lives also in our experience from childhood and till the time, all throughout our life, we experience this behavior exhibited by people who have somehow or the other through inheritance or through hard work or through stroke of luck amass or have gained wealth, plenty of wealth. Like here we are talking about the demigod, the treasurers of the demigod, Kuvera, has unlimited wealth. under his control. And his two sons were Nalapuvera and Manigriva. When you have unlimited wealth, you become puffed up, even though you did not have anything to do with it, except having been born in that family. But you develop that complex that anything and everything, the problems of this world can be resolved by money, by wealth. And once we have that mentality, then the good intelligence to serve the Supreme Lord does not happen. So here we see that the two sons were enjoying with the damsels, denizens, heaven, apsaras, so-called sundaris, in the river, bathing in an inebriated, intoxicated way, along with the women, who were also not dressed appropriately. And these two boys were also without any dress. And during the time, evening time, Narad Muni happened to pass by, and he observed them. Even though the girls had some shame, they covered themselves and offered, slight obeisances in a sorry way. But these two boys, they were puffed up. They just ignored Narada Muni. Okay, whatever the problem, like we are okay. We have the money. That's what we notice, how rich people or their sons or their children behave. So, but Narada Muni, in order to teach them, as we just recited the verse, had a special mercy through a special curse. So, Prabhupada mentions also in the purport that when you are under the influence of mode of passion and ignorance, the tendency is to enjoy your senses to the fullest. And the highest form of sense gratification is considered a sensual, sexual enjoyment. And these two sons were no different. They were also enjoying wine, women, sex, and without any care for tomorrow, without any care for future. So Krishna also mentions in the Bhagavad Gita that whatever example is set by somebody famous, the common men follow. So these are examples that are being set by these people who are supposed to be, sons of elevated personality like Kubera. So are they good examples? No. Do they uplift your character? No. So the whole exercise in reciting these verses, in understanding the fact that we are spirit soul who have come into this world because of this tendency to enjoy, separate from Krishna. But when we have been touched by the influence, by the sadhu, by the guru, by the shastras, we realize our original constitutional position, that we desired the wrong thing. What is the wrong thing? To enjoy separate from Krishna. Krishna provided us the facility as soon as we desire. Okay, here are your senses. Go into this Mrityuloka called the beautiful earth, and there see how much you can enjoy and whether or not you like it. Some people get it because they have been connected by Krishna's mercy. Nobody gets connected to Krishna without Krishna's mercy, and to the transcendental literature without Krishna's mercy, and to the Guru without Krishna's mercy. So we are very thankful that Prabhupada, in his very old age, came to the United States with practically nothing, 40 rupees, and trunk full of books. And he was able to start this movement called International Society for Krishna Consciousness, whereby he translated all important Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and then Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, along with the purports by himself, whereby all the secrets of a happy, peaceful, devoted life, loving devoted life to Lord Krishna is revealed. We as spirit soul are meant to be happy all the time, but only when we are in our right constitutional position, which is servant of the Lord, or the servant of the Lord. When we are situated in that situation, not considering ourselves the Lord of everything, surrendered to Krishna in our original constitution, we are happy. So, and we can be perpetually happy by involving ourselves in the service of the Lord, in the service of the servants of the Lord. And thereby making our life successful, because we are rightly situated. But when we are puffed up and we want to enjoy separate from Krishna, we give up on Krishna and want to enjoy separate from Krishna through our effort, through our mind, through our wealth, through our children, through our possessions, then we are miserable. Always. Temporarily, it may seem like we are enjoying, but then those who have wealth, they are always anxious that tomorrow it might go away. They're always anxious. Some thief might steal it. Some scammer might scam me. Okay? Those who have a beautiful wife, they are scared that she might leave me. Children, how will they grow up to be? Whether they will care for me or not in my old age. So that person who is separated from Krishna and has taken shelter of these material temporary things is always in anxiety, and which makes their life miserable. But those who are surrendered unto Krishna and have taken shelter of Krishna and their Krishna's devotees, they don't have a thing to care about in this world. So everything belongs to Krishna. Krishna wants me to have a child. My child will be there. My child will be good. Krishna wants me to have some wealth. I will work and gain some wealth. You have to perform your karma, with which Krishna will give me the means to have my livelihood. But here we see they have inherited wealth, and Narada Muni is giving them the curse. You guys have lost all shame. You have behaved like trees who have no care. They don't know right from wrong. They don't know the time of the day. They don't know any any kind of because the intelligence for the jada for the non-moving living entity like trees is not developed. Even for the moving ones, except for human being, those who have only surrendered into Krishna, they have highly, or even they have material intelligence. Is not considered like intelligence. It is considered as a as an animal only, eating, sleeping, mating, depending, various different ways, kind of recreating yourself, creating situations like okay, this has become boring now. Let's move on to something. This woman is not attractive anymore. Let's move on to somebody else. So on and so forth. They are also like animals, no better than animals. Animals conduct themselves like that, eating, sleeping, mating, depending. So the human category is considered intelligent, those who have understood that they are the eternal servant of the Lord, and their job is to, once you develop that intelligence and you keep on expanding on it by reading Shastra, by listening to the Gurujanas, to the sadhus, we are making our life successful. Even though sometimes you might feel that, a situation by mistake or by some arrangement, a rich person may come in contact with you. And if you try to tell them something, they will tell you something else. And because they're carrying so much influence because of their wealth, you might be able to just think like, be able to toe their line. But are you doing the right thing? No, we're not. So we have to understand through the deliberate knowledge about what is right and what is wrong and act accordingly. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the setting of a temple. You can be in any sphere of life, any work that you do, job, business, anything. All you have to be is aware of your situation, that everything is given to me by Krishna. I have to use it properly in Krishna's service. Use it properly in Krishna's service, and I'll be happy, and Krishna will my karma will be a karma then. Will not have the reaction of the karma, any adverse reaction. So Krishna will set aside a quota for everybody. He does that. According to your character, this is set for you. But if you make the mistake of not following in the footsteps of the acharyas, in the footsteps of the spiritual literature left behind, then we are sure to fall down. Because after all, it is Krishna's Maya, Krishna's illusory energy. That illusory energy, if you get illusioned by it, then you're doomed. If you are using it for Krishna service, that same illusory energy is uplifting for you. So you can make your life successful and at the end of life think of Krishna and regain your original spiritual bodily constitution and go back home. Go back home. Prabhupada mentions that, somebody asked him in one of the classes that, Prabhupada, are there aliens in our world who come from other planets? Prabhupada says, yes, we are all aliens on this world. We are all aliens in this world who are struggling very hard with the 10 senses and the mind. And in the end, we give up. Just like a fish, its natural habitat is in the water. But when you take her out from the water, it will struggle very hard for some time and then die. And from the point of view of infinity, this lifespan of like about 70, 80, or 90 years is like a flash of light, flickering light. And we try to make the best use through the senses to try to become sense-wise, sensory, situation-wise, comfortable. But in the end, we cannot find any solution to birth, death, old age, and disease. And we end up losing our life, thereby getting transferred into the womb of another mother, not necessarily another human being, another human birth, not necessarily. But those who have surrendered, those who have started the process of acknowledging Krishna, acknowledging God, for them at least, the next birth will be in the human form again. You'll get the facility again to progress further, to make. So, as we will also read tomorrow, how Nalagriva and Manigriva, Nalakuara and Manigriva attain the bodies of the trees and how they get delivered as we progress through the reading. So we have to take the lessons, because once you become a little bit sensitive, once one becomes a little bit sensitive about our surrounding, about the laws of karma, about the laws of the material modes of nature and their interaction and how they act, you can understand this through an experiment on your own self, that how you will be situated, because Mode of passion invariably will end up in some kind of misery. Mode of ignorance is always miserable condition unless it is guided by superiors like mother, father. Otherwise, if you leave a child who doesn't have a father, mother and nobody to care for, then the child will not survive. Let's put it this way: will not know the difference between good and bad. But the child is under the care of superior guidance from the parents. So that's how the child is conducting nonsensical things sometimes and enjoying, so-called enjoying. So if you sometimes conduct an experiment on yourself and eat something, you don't even have to go as far as eating non-vegetarian food or anything. But even a little onion, garlic, or a little tamasic food, or little very, very tasty food or something like that, which is in the mode of passion, you will realize that soon enough you will face some issues pertaining to either to your mental health, bodily health, or anything, any kind of anxiety will come to you. And the same way, if you are situating yourself in a sattvic intelligence, sattvic way, by having good prasadam every day, by having a charnamrit, by reading the scriptures and waking up early and not sleeping too much, you will see that you're making progress in a very nice way, and Krishna is helping you. So these are some of the points that I could gather from my understanding about the modes of material nature and how people situated in modes of passion, how they get the resultant, misery. Just like how these two souls will get that misery for several thousands of years by being situated as a tree. With this, I conclude. Thank you very much for this words today. Thank you all for giving me the opportunity. Please excuse me for all my shortcomings. Hare Krishna. Always remember Krishna. Never forget Krishna. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, please address them. I will come close to the computer. If there are no questions, then
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you for the class. Can you see me? Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah,
any
thank you.
questions? No.
I have a question. May I ask a question on Canto 5?
Yeah.
I have a question. I mean, there are distances mentioned in Canto 5 between Earth and Moon and other planets, Sun, Venus. So, actually, according to our senses, those are not the distances, but Bhagavatam states some other distances. So what does those distances mean? If we can't pursue these kind of distances, 100k yojanas, 200k yojanas, according to our human our senses, what does those numbers mean?
Our senses, first of all, have to understand how we perceive knowledge. So there are various ways by which we perceive knowledge. Is a pratyaksha pramana. When you see something and you see that this is like this person is white, this is black, this is woman, this is man. Pratyaksha pramana. Okay, and then there is anuman, inference you derive. But something is like, that there is today is the night time, the anuman is that around this time the sun will rise, anuman. And then the highest form of this thing is coming from descending knowledge, is the knowledge from the Shastras. Because our senses are imperfect, and if we see something beyond, like, a certain distance, we cannot. So, so we have to follow the Shastras. Scientists tell you today that, after 20 million years, this sun will be just reduced to a, little dwarf planet with no light, shining dwarf. And we say that, okay, the science is saying that. But the fact that from billions of years, sun is the same, they don't have any proof also. They are hypothesizing these things. Similarly, certain distances with the proof, through the help of yantras, we can calculate, but not everything. Not everything. So there is always, science says one thing today and that changes and says another thing tomorrow about the same subject. Because our senses are imperfect, our knowledge is imperfect. If that knowledge comes down from the sampradaya, from the descending process of reciprocal succession, then that knowledge is perfect. Does that help?
Yeah, but the thing is, we can measure we may not say what happens to the sun after 20 million years or billion years, but we have the technology to find the distances between objects. So, I mean, for example, like there are multiple ways to measure the distances from Earth to Moon. One of the thing is like sending laser or high wavelength radio waves. Based on that, we can calculate, as well as many satellites went
That's
to.
true. It may be true. That may be true. That your distance from here to the sun or to the moon, that may be true. To the instruments, it may be true. But what is written in the Bhagavatam, first of all, we have to understand that have we understood that correctly? Small things mentioned in even a small booklet called Hanuman Chalisa mentions about the distance of sun accurately. But we read it so many times, but do we understand that? Have we tried to analyze that? But if you have the real guru who understands these things, they will be able to then correlate that thing. Okay? We have to first understand what is written in the Shastra. First of all, you have to go through the original Sanskrit version and the analysis by the acharyas, what they say about it. Then only we will be able to ascertain. Otherwise, today what science has found out today has been known to the Indian rishis many thousands of years when these people were still not existing in this side of the world. The Indian society, Bharatvarsh society, or the so-called Aryans, they knew about all those things long before. There are certain things that are discoveries, certain things are inventions. So you can discover certain things up until some time. The religious people in the biblical side, or like in Abrahamic religion or something, they were not. They were considering Earth to be flat, and in India, the word used for Earth is bhugol. Bhumi, goal. So at that time, if somebody who said that thing against the church or against the Quran or anything like, they'll be persecuted. Same thing about, oh, the sun moves around the earth because they're perceiving that. But now science says, like, it has been proven through experiment that it's actually the earth that is moving around. So these things are there as an indication of understanding certain things. Say, for example, if you mention, if somebody says, a scientist will say something like, million year from now, you and I or anybody else will not be there million year from now to verify that fact that this rascal scientist said this.
Yeah.
Happens. So that's how we have to understand. So we have the yugas here, the Kali Yuga, 432,000 years. But we are going through, we are past like, a little over 5,000, 5,500 years of this Kali Yuga. Because there is a tracking that is happening. And it is also not going to be valid because Krishna can reduce the duration of a yuga as per his wishes. Krishna can reduce the distance between the planets also for his desire. Krishna can increase the distance between planets. It's like if you see a lotus flower or if you see a piece of paper like this, the distance between this end to this end is 11 inches, right? Krishna has the ability to make it zero by bringing it like this. Now the distance is maybe from 1 inch to 11 inch or like from 0 to 11 inches, right?
Yeah.
So these are the ways by which we can conclude. So there is an example in Vrindavan. Barsana is so far away from Vrindavan, like at least by car it is like 2 hours, 1.5 hours, 2 hours. Okay, and Radharani used to come every day to Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is in the form of a lotus flower. One petal is Vrindavan, one petal is Barsana, and the petal closes and they are close to each other. Okay? So these distances, they are mentioned for our knowledge, not for our finding that there is a faulty conclusion drawn in Bhagavatam. Am I making sense to you now?
Yeah, I mean, how does the knowledge is helpful for us? The 100k yojanas, 200k yojanas, those numbers are.
Helpful in understanding for those who are like beginners in understanding what does distance mean.
Okay.
There's everything is there. There are shastras and the Vedas. There are Vedas that have mathematics. They have science. They have everything that is there. As you go on exploring more and more, nothing, everything that you learn in the material world today's modern science is also coming from the ancient scriptures only. It has been diverted to different. This is material science. This is physics. This is chemistry, Rasayan Vidya. It's all coming down from those things only. But it's good that you are, exercising your intelligence in asking these questions. But the answers are also there. As you question, the answers will come, and you will keep opening up the horizons of your mental intelligence and use it for the purpose of gaining devotion to the Lord. Once you use it for that purpose, then your life is successful. Thank you so much for asking the question. And by Krishna's mercy, I was able to give you some input. It may not be 100%, but you can try to find more. All right.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
you. Hare Krishna. Anything else? Hare Krishna, Babu. We'll see you tomorrow again. Hare Krishna.
See you, bro.